The headline, Jeffrey Epstein is Satoshi, is floating around the entire internet like crazy. And I know it sounds like a really great clickbait headline and that a lot of people do believe it, but I want to show you something because Jeffrey Epstein is not Satoshi. So this email from the files is circulating the internet. And you should always fact check me and everybody else on the internet because AI is taking over. In this email, he talks about acquiring Mt. Gox. If you don't know what Mt. Gox is, it's based in Japan and is one of the first early Bitcoin exchanges. Jeb McCaleb founded Mt. Gox, and he was also part of Ripple and Stellar. Those are also in the files. Now, I want to ask you this. If Epstein did create Bitcoin, why wouldn't he have created Mt. Gox? Why wouldn't he have created a Bitcoin exchange? Because the goal is to make money, right? Why would he need to acquire that instead of create his own? Now, yes, there was some funding from Epstein that did go into some of the Bitcoin developers, foundations, that type of stuff. But it wasn't in the very beginning when Bitcoin was created. And Bitcoin is a decentralized asset, meaning that anybody can enter and use Bitcoin, very similar to cash. Everybody can use cash and access it, and you could be a terrible person. But the difference with Bitcoin and cash is that you can actually track Bitcoin. It's on a public ledger. And you guys remember this story that happened. JP Morgan, $290 million settlement with Epstein accusers because they were facilitating transactions. Now with the bank, they have very strict requirements on KYC. Deposit, transactions, everything. Bitcoin is different because it's a true decentralized ecosystem. You don't get to pick who you transact with because there are no third parties. So you might make a transaction with somebody or acquire Bitcoin that somebody used to do something bad, even though you didn't do something bad. And again, when we talk about Epstein funding the early developments of Bitcoin or the stuff over at MIT, a lot of these addresses were public. Anybody could have funded it. All you needed to do was send Bitcoin to that address, and they can't control who is sending them the funds. They also can't halt transactions. Goodbye.